Welcome back to the Future of Real Estate. I'm Brett Ellis with the Ellis team at RE/MAX Realty Group, and it's January 2012, so you know what that means. It's time for our State of the Market report. I want to go over a couple things. Official numbers just came out, and I want to go through what's going on in our market. I call this like it almost looks like a shark, and kind of feels like a shark. I know a lot of us have been cutting our teeth on this market for years, but back in 1993, prices were down around 83,000, and we kind of had a slow, gradual on the way up, and then about 2002, 2003, prices kind of shot up, probably a little bit too much. And then if you see at the peak of the market here in 2005, we hit about 281,900. These are year-end average prices. And since then, we've kind of been falling down to about 90,400 back in 2009. That was the bottom of the market. Don't think our prices are going lower. If they do go lower, we've had 2 years now on the incline. If they would happen to go lower, it would set a new market. But we don't really see that happening. But we wanted to wait because we saw all sides of it. All the evidence pointed to this in 2009, but we wanted to wait and see. And it looks like that's what's happened. So our market's on the upswing here in terms of price. Now, this last year, if you tuned into us, we were predicting transaction volume would probably fall off. And that's exactly what happened. This is 2011, and we still pretty good. Third best year on record, but it has fallen off, and you kind of see match it by quarter, it's off, and there's less inventory, less foreclosures, less stuff to sell. So, and as the price has been coming up, less investors have been coming in thinking they're going to do the flip. So there's less flips. So every time there's one less flip, there's one less transaction, sort of thing. Here's an in-depth look at our homes closed, and you can kind of see we peaked out here back in March of 2011, and then even back in June of 09. That was actually our peak, and we've kind of bounced along the tops here, but we've kind of come down. This last month we've gone up again, so we'll kind of keep a track on that. And here's prices. Here's why. Our prices have been kind of low. We bottomed out here, as we said, in 09, kind of bounced along the bottom, kind of started shooting up here a little bit. So we're going to see in this last month we had a pretty good gain up to 123.4. I'm not sure that'll hold for the next couple months. We may bounce along, but I think the key here is we're going to be up around in here, anywhere along in here, and probably not down around here. So that's kind of where we're heading. Let's see what else we've got for you. This puts it in another format, but in all through 2011, once February hit, we started crossing over, and we've been to the plus side all year long. And of course, this is what happened at the end of the year. And what I can tell you is that, let's head back here, our season started early. Probably October, we had buyers coming down from up north, and they were really here buying. And every day here, we have 3, 4, 5 buyers in our office. Our agents are busy out there showing, putting contracts together. I don't know if they all close or not, but at least, hey, we've got a flurry of activity. Pending sales are really on the increase. We're going to go through that here in a second too. So let's go through. This is what our listing inventory looked like, or has looked like over time. This goes back to January of 2010. And you can see we were a little bit higher, and Fort Myers is the red, Cape Coral is the green, and Lehigh Acres is the blue, and they've fallen precipitously. We did have a few months of rising, just slightly, nothing major, but it fell again, and that's probably because the pending sales and the closing sales are starting to pick up now. Here's our overall Lee County inventory, and you can kind of see it's fallen from over 12,342. We're down now to about 7,970, so going down every month. Here is Lee County inventory versus short sales, and that inventory is going down as well. So something we keep an eye on. Now this is pending sales. This is something we want to, let's see here. This is something, you can kind of see our pending sales were higher, and that's how we knew those properties, the transactions were going to be higher, because we had higher pending sales. Then they kind of dropped off in fourth quarter of 2010, back up again in 11, back down now, but we've just seen an uptick again recently. So watch for January, February, March. Of course, we're in high season right now, so we always put a lot of properties under market. Wouldn't be surprised if property prices do hold and these pendings do go up. I just got a report the last 2 weeks. I told you about our buyer specialists have a lot of buyers here working. I was talking to another agent who's seen a definite uptick in pending sales the last couple of weeks since I even pulled this data. We always try to pull it about the middle of the month. Here's our distress sales. We were about 90, close to 90%, 88.14% in Lehigh Acres distress sales. That is now down to 52%. Countywide, we're down around 47% distress sales. So you kind of see that as a percent, those are really coming down. Our traditional sales are going up, and that's probably a function of price as well. Here's our foreclosure versus short sales, and the yellow is foreclosures, and you can see, you know, those foreclosures have fallen off, and that's probably because of the robo-signing issue. The banks haven't been able to release them, although I have gotten a few more assignments this past week, so we expect to see a few more foreclosures coming, but nothing like we had in '09. We just don't see that many out there. And then the short sales, they've actually been rising too, as banks have been cooperating a little bit better. So it makes for, hopefully we'll get some more transactions in the pipeline. And this is our listing inventory. Now this is not the whole county, it's just Fort Myers and Cape Coral, although the whole county would about look like this. Back in '05, for every active sale, we probably had a pending sale, and you can kind of see that. But then something started turning in the third to fourth quarter of 2005. We started seeing our inventory going up and our pending sales going down. But if you look in the last year or so, back about February of 2011, our active sales have really been coming down, and our pending sales were picking up and at least holding steady. And here's our Ellis team current market index. We've used this for years, and this predicts where the market's going ahead of the market. Back here, we were telling people, and this, of course, you know, kind of goes off the chart here, but we were telling people, hey, this market's going to go down as this number goes up. Then we said this market's heating up. We saw this number coming way down. And in fact, we've had a pretty good market here. That's why we've had high sales. We peaked out down here probably in the about June of 2011 here. We're still holding fairly steady at about 3.72. So that's historically close to the low end of the scale, about what it was back in '09 when the market was really heating up. So we think we're in for a really good market. The snowbirds are sure here, our offices are full, buyers are here, pending sales are going up, the sales are proving it, prices are going up. Statistically, we bottomed out in 2009. We think we're going to be in for a pretty good season. We're going to wait and see what happens the balance of the year. It's an election year, we got oil prices, we got the whole Iran thing. You know, probably need to drill more of our own oil so we're not less dependent on whatever Iran does or some of these other countries. But we see really positive signs, at least for a change, in the Southwest Florida real estate market. And hopefully that'll translate into picking up the whole market, because real estate is about 32% of the nation's GDP. So if we can somehow lift real estate, we can somehow lift the whole economy. We've got to probably work on Washington a little more and get them to release some of the onerous regulations with the Dodd-Frank Act, some of the appraisal guidelines and whatnot. They're just kind of, they have good intentions, but they're kind of messing up the market. They're not helping things. And would like to see them work on that. But otherwise, if you let the free market prevail, the free market is starting to turn. Things are starting to look up. At least Southwest Florida is one of the few bright spots in the country. And thank goodness we're here. And if you want to reach us, you can always call us at 239-489-4042. Our website is 1-800-860-4042. Don't forget our website, which is topagent.com. You've been watching The Future of Real Estate, and particularly this year's State of the Market Report. Thanks for tuning in, and check back with us, because every month we'll have more updated information. And thanks for watching.